Doug MPA back with another video. So we're going to stay on this whole child support paternity fraud thing. I found this article from the Helsinki Times, and I was reading through it, and I guess Finland is supposed to have a pretty good model for paternity and child support. I guess internationally people talk about Finland's model, but there are still guys that are paying for children that aren't theirs. So this guy is going to tell us about his experience, and he's going to give examples of child support fraud and paternity fraud in other countries as well. So and it's everywhere, guys, everywhere. Everywhere we go, there are men paying for children that are not theirs, and it is your responsibility to make sure you are not that guy because you will get no help from the government, from the state, from the baby's mother. Nobody, guys. All you can do is make sure that you have sexual discipline and you don't end up in this system in the first place. So before we look at this article, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me, what I'm doing over here. And let's get into it. It says, forced to pay for wife's infidelity, Finland's dilemma on paternity fraud and child support. This is fairly recent, April 21st of 2023. It says, so this is the guy who sparked the debate for this article. It says, I paid child support again for a child proven not to be mine. National legislation allows mothers to knowingly commit paternity fraud, which is not in the best interest of the child and violates their rights. And a recent tweet, Yanni, a Finnish man who identifies as judicial father by paternal discrepancy, brought attention to a controversial issue surrounding paternity fraud and child support payments in Finland. So he had to go to social media and put his story out there, because I guarantee you, in his personal life, nobody cares. In his community, nobody cares. The tweet sparked a heated debate on social media about the rights of the child, the responsibilities of biological fathers, and the consequences for men who are unknowingly deceived. A Twitter user responded, the child's biological connection to you doesn't matter if you were married when the child was born. That has to be a woman. It has to be. The child has a legal right to a father who can choose to be physically present in the child's life or just support the child financially. This is done with the child's rights in mind. That's completely dismissing the guy's issue. And that happens here in America too. A guy will go to the court and have a paternity test saying that the child isn't his, and family court judges will say, "So you're not going to step up in this child's life? You know, you're going to make this child illegitimate? How dare you? You're supposed to step up as a man." Completely dismissing the lying, the deceit, the deception of paternity fraud. That's where we are in current society, guys. However, another user questioned the logic, asking, how does it support the child's right if one only participates financially? Another user emphasized the responsibility of the biological father. Doesn't the biological father have any responsibility? How is justice served if paternity is based on the mother's deception and theft? What kind of image does this give of the child's biological parents? And that is 100% true. The child is supposed to be around a father who, one, is not his, and two, is being forced into caring for this child. What kind of a relationship is a child supposed to have with that man? And the father is going to let the child know that your mother lied to me, and he has all the right to say that to the child. So how is that in the best interest of the child? Um, Another person said, she just said that the deceived man should be released from the situation while the biological father should pay. Another person says, one would think the biological father would have the right to be confirmed as the father. I guarantee you, the biological father doesn't even know. She hasn't even told him. And why would she? She doesn't have to. Another user expressed frustration with the current system, arguing that it is completely contrary to a healthy sense of justice, that legal paternity is not overturned, even though there are perfect reasons for it. That's never going to happen, guys, ever. Why doesn't the mother push for the child's rights to the existence of the real father, a user wrote. Another user commented, I hope you also get compensation from the mother of the child to whom you have to pay unjustifiably. Yeah, another user wondered, I wondered how the child's real father allows this. Does he not care about his child, or is he a complete slob? Once again, I guarantee you he doesn't know, guys. It's either she knows and doesn't want to tell the biological father, or she doesn't know because she was sleeping with a whole bunch of dudes all at once. It says Finland is known for its effective child support system, globally ensuring individual and financial protection of a child in tumultuous marriages. However, the legal system within Finland is often scrutinized when it comes to the case of paternity fraud. Paternity fraud, also known as misattributed paternity, occurs when when a man is wrongly identified as the father of a child. In Finland, as in many other countries, the legal and social ramifications of paternity fraud can be significant, especially when it comes to issues of child support and maintenance. Finnish law requires the legal father to financially support their children, even if paternity fraud is discovered, and this has led to discussions about the fairness and ethics of such obligations. So it's written in the law, guys. If you take a paternity test after paternity has been established, and the paternity test shows that you are not the father, you will continue supporting this child. It's in the law of Finland, and this is supposed to be, known internationally as a effective system. People look to Finland and say, "Oh, Finland's doing it right." It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And I have my awful women and their foolishness series on my channel. Check it out. I made a playlist, and this is based off the outdated notion that women just can't do wrong. Women would never commit evil acts like paternity, like knowingly make a guy who's not the father pay for another man's child. And I'm hoping in my lifetime we can make that go away, guys, because in 2023, I keep saying it on my channel, women have as much, if not more, of a proclivity and potential for evil than men. And not only that, but the ramifications of women's evil has much longer lasting effects in the social aspects of society than men. The ongoing case of Janice has garnered attention in Finland, who has been paying maintenance for a child he believed to be his biological son for a decade, guys, 10 years. However, a DNA test revealed that he was not the child's biological father. Despite this revelation, he is still required to continue paying child support. He has been legally declared as a child's father by the court. In January 2023, the district court assessed the best interests of the child in the case and assigned a guardian deputy who can use the child's right to apply for paternity correction. However, Danny is still paying for the child support. The case has raised questions about the fairness of Finnish law in situations where a man already traumatized by a cheating wife is found to not be the biological father of a child but is still obligated to pay support. And guys, we need to be asking, the woman can correct this at any time. She can go to the court and say, I don't want child support from this man. We leave that part out. Women can stop, well, in America, at least, a woman can stop child support anytime she wants. Why isn't the woman doing the right thing and saying, look, this man is not the biological father. I don't want this man to pay child support. Most child support systems, and in all 50 states in the United States, women can do that, but they don't, because they don't want to do the right thing. Because these women, they don't care about that man. They just want the money, guys. That's what they want. This is, in contrast to, we're going to talk about child support and paternity fraud in other countries. It says, in contrast to the approach taken in Finland, other countries have different timelines for addressing this concern. For instance, in the UK, a father seeking to claim damages must file a court claim within 6 years of discovering the fraud. In the U.S., the legal obligation to pay child support is typically based on genetic or legal paternity, and the timeline for annulling paternity varies among each state, and that's true. In some states, a man may have the option to challenge paternity and seek relief from child support if he can prove he is not the biological father, but often the window for contesting paternity is limited to 2 years after the child's birth. And in Finland, they have the 2-year rule too. It says, moreover, Finland's law requires a man to challenge paternity for a child born in wedlock within 2 years of the child's birth and 1 year of becoming aware of the circumstances that raise doubt about his paternity. The deadline can be extended only under special circumstances. Okay. In Australia, a man initially received compensation for damages separate from child rearing costs due to paternity fraud from his ex-wife, but lost on appeal in the highest court. And that does not shock me because Australia is almost as bad as Canada when it comes to male bashing, misandrist, just overboard. If you're watching this from Australia, if you're a man, my hat's to you, man, because I've heard. I'm an American. I feel bad about all this. No, all the stories I hear about Australia. I feel bad for you guys. I really do. So big up to all my Australian listeners. If you're listening, keep your head up, guys. A South Korean man was awarded $42,380 in compensation for pain and suffering damages after discovering that his wife had committed paternity fraud by having another man's baby. So good, South Korea. After a prolonged legal battle spanning 12 years in the California court system, a man as found to not be the father of a child of whom he had been paying child support. A resident of Florida found out 16 months after his divorce that the child he had been paying child support for was not his, as confirmed by DNA testing. However, Florida justices ruled 7-0 against him, stating that he must continue to pay $1,200 a month in child support, as he had missed the 1-year post-divorce deadline for filing his lawsuit. This would amount to over $200,000 in court-ordered payments over 15 years to support a child that his ex-wife had with another man, guys. This is craziness. This is where we're at in 2023, guys. And then Canada, they saved the best for last. Remember, Canada is a left-leaning, misandrous, male-bashing, effinist wasteland. In Canada, child support guidelines prioritize the biological parent's responsibility for providing financial support. If paternity is uncertain, the court may order a DNA test to determine the child's biological father. Once established, the biological father is required to pay child support according to federal child support guidelines. Okay, Canada, that's all right. The Finnish legal system places a high emphasis on the best interest of the child, and the principle of the child's right to financial support from both parents is considered paramount. This case has raised important questions regarding the legal and ethical responsibilities of all parties involved in the situation of paternity fraud. Some have questioned why the biological father is not being held financially responsible for the child support, and if the best interest of the child can be achieved without infringing on the rights of the man who has been wronged by paternity fraud. I can tell you, no. It is not in the best interest of the child to make another man who's not his father pay for him or her or them, or whatever they say nowadays. It highlights the need for a fair and just legal system that takes into account the well-being of all parties involved, especially the child, while ensuring that individuals are not fairly unburdened with financial obligations. Once again, Finland is supposed to be one of the models that people, that other countries look to about their paternity system, and this is still happening over there, guys. All you can do is just have sexual discipline, guys. That is paramount now more than ever, okay? And if a pregnancy occurs, guys, you need to get that child DNA tested. In America, they sell DNA test kits in stores. Okay, if you have a child and it's tumultuous, and you during one of your visitation times, you take that little swab that child's mouth, swab your mouth, mail that bad boy in. You don't even have to tell her. You need to make sure, because once again, the stats say, depending on the study, that between 1 in 3 and 1 in 4 men who have a child out of wedlock are raising children that are not theirs in the United States of America, guys. Don't let that be you. That is your responsibility. It's all on you. Because the women aren't going to care. The courts aren't going to care. Odds are your community around you is not going to care, because you need to man up and do the right thing. You need to step up. Are you going to make this child illegitimate? You need to do what's best for you, guys. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.